Namaste, Jay Bharat. Ethics and moral philosophy is a compulsory paper in most, I think all curriculums in the world when it comes to doing philosophy. Moral philosophy. We call it as ethics also because though there are some subtle distinctions. Let me not go into that. Now, if you look at moral philosophy, we see it in our universities also. These things are taught, but the two ways of philosophy, unlike what Bhagavan Rajneesh, as a student in Sagar University, narrates his master's experience about his viva in his PG in philosophy. Where he says, why making a distinction between Western philosophy and Indian philosophy? That distinction still gets on, but I don't use it. I use it as European philosophy and Bharatiya Darshana. He talks about his experience as a student life, and he says, don't call it as Western philosophy and Indian philosophy, just call philosophy as philosophy. But then I differ from Acharya Rajneesh that there's a difference between the European philosophy and Bharatiya Darshana, and some, I think I must have made, I'll tell you some other time. But now, in Bharatiya curriculum also, this moral philosophy is a regular routine. And you see, when you study something, especially an area like philosophy, you will feel out of place if you don't belong to that. If you can't find yourselves in that, you feel out of place. You enjoy a novel when you find yourselves in that. And that the great creativity of writers or novelists like Dostoevsky, and many others, many other great writers. There are many great writers. There is something called as the greatest novels of all times. So, let it be. Now, this moral philosophy has been taught, and the moral philosophy, what we get taught in European philosophy, carries all the properties or characteristics of European philosophy, which is essentially speculative. Speculative in the sense that individuals speculate, of course, very logically, very systematically, very rationally, and come out with theories and theses. But that is speculative philosophy, but that alone is not philosophy. If you say that alone is philosophy, then you get into reductionism. And we have many isms apart from other kinds of philosophy. There is something called as emotivism, which says moral norms. When they talk about moral norms, they talk about moral principles. The moral principles are expressions of emotions. Someone would say it is prescriptivism because morality has to be prescribed. So moral norms are prescriptive in nature, etc. And G. Moore will go about looking to explore the concept of good. Then we have Kant. He compares the moral law within, he speaks about something different. He says there is an implied moral law within human being, and then he compares it with the starry sky above in the heaven to resonate the idea of an order within. So we have a lot of such speculation. But if you look at these moral philosophies, we will see individuals creating philosophy, and that precisely is what speculative philosophy is. On the other hand, when you come to Bharat, it's not really individual, it's a thought system. They're concepts. So we call this Darshana. Of course, we call it Darshana because of the differences in methods of Darshana and speculation. speculative philosophy, that's a different thing. So, we teach moral philosophy, but we are teaching Bharatiya moral philosophy without using the name moral philosophy, without creating it as a separate paper to be taught and then to be examined. But we teach our own morals, our own moral philosophy through that larger concept of Dharma. It's a simple and complex thing at the same time. Dharma is to be followed. Violation of Dharma is a Dharma. Dharma is, if you use an English word, is being righteous, and let's be its righteousness. And Dharma is all that wrong. So we understand it much better. If a Bharatiya student goes about understanding emotivism, prescriptivism, etc., you would find it slightly that he wouldn't fit into that concept. But as a Bharatiya student, when you talk to him about Dharma, it's simple and straight. He gets it. He grasps it. So I just want to say that all these moral philosophies are done. Someone should try to teach Dharma along with the classes in moral philosophy. I used to do. That's outside the syllabus what we do in the class. Dharma would serve you better than moral philosophy. Most of the times, moral philosophy just go above the heads of students because they can't get into that in most cases because it doesn't belong to your stage settings. Stage setting is your context, is your background. All kinds of things put together, like Wittgenstein called it a stage setting. So, this is it. We can substitute, one should learn moral philosophy the way the Europeans do, but we can substitute it more effectively through the concept of Dharma. Sometime in future, we can think in terms of that. We meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.